Okay, guys, I just got through speaking right now, and I talked a lot about sanctification today, about the dishes, the dirty dishes, positional sanctification versus practical sanctification. And it's a process. And in the process, sometimes, as I said, just referred to, iron sharpens iron. And it's usually in the context of these small home groups that you're leading, where all of this stuff that's stopping our sanctification gets fleshed out. And so I want you just to take some of the notes from today's sermon, and especially some of the ideas like King Asa. How do we relate to him? I mean, I know I do sometimes. He got turned on for God. He was just going and blowing, and then all of a sudden his walk with God just kind of cools off, and he doesn't pray about things like he should have prayed about things. And isn't it true that all of us kind of go through periods of backsliding? And then at some point we have to rededicate our life. What causes those points of backsliding? What causes us to start getting in our comfort zones and not wanting to come out of them? Where are you at right now in your walk with God? Do you feel like it's growing, or do you feel like it's kind of holding its own, or is it going backwards? Are you fading? Are you on the slow fade? Let's talk about that. Let's discuss that. Again, I don't think there's anything more powerful in our small groups than a leader who's transparent and saying, hey, I go through those times where I just stop praying about things. And the reason I stop praying about things is because sometimes I just don't think prayer works. We all go through that. So let's flesh that out. Let's wrestle with that thought. Is God answering our prayers and staying anonymous? Is he staying, back behind the scenes somewhere? How do we correlate his word, written word, with what we feel? And so let's get into candid discussion about sanctification and how we're changing. And then maybe talk a little bit too about grace and peace, and the favors we're asking from God, and the favors that God has actually done for us. Share some of those with the people. When you go to buy a car, do you ask God for favor? When you go to buy a house, do you ask God for a favor? Or is that too carnal? Is that too secular? Where does our walk with God cross into the too secular realm? Or does it have to stay on the spiritual side? A lot of thoughts to think about. Think about some of those, talk about them, write some notes down, and that'll be your discussion for the home group this week. So God bless. See you here, there, in the air.